Hello, what's up, family? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to another live. Hey, if this is your first time being on this live, can you please make sure you subscribe to the channel? I definitely appreciate it. What's up, everybody? Got three people here. Okay, let me see who's in here. Three people are here. What's happening, everybody? What is going on? Glad to be back again. Glad to be back. What's up, Marcus? You never fail. What's up? Wish I was. Yeah, those pimping days are gone. I wish I was. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you again. Always, Marcus. You're a good supporter. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm just waiting on more people to come into the live. Hope everybody had a great day. Just waiting on more people to come into the live. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes. Okay, look like we got 4 people in. If you're out there, please let me know. Please let me know. We got 4 people. Okay, well, let's get this baby started. Like I said, if this is your first time on my live stream, can you please make sure you like and subscribe, because this really helps the channel tremendously. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Man, we got some interesting topics to talk about tonight. So let's get it started. Let's do it. Okay, here we go.
Tony Rome Live.
What's up, everybody? Joseph, what's happening? How you doing, brother? How are you guys doing? Hey, I just want to say too, the next time when my internet go off, just hang around just a little longer. I apologize. Last weekend I was right in the middle of doing a live stream and the internet failed. So sometimes when you do these live streams, the internet will act up sometimes. So I'm doing everything live. Sometimes we have storms and things like that can interfere with the live stream. So just hang on for about 10 minutes, and once the internet reconnects again, then StreamYard would jump right back on again. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. Plus, I want to give a shout out to Willie Brown for the super chat. I didn't get a chance to tell him that. And Eric, thank you very much for the cash out, man. I definitely really, really appreciate it, bro. I appreciate all y'all support, the ones that support me. It's not easy coming out here every week, trying to drop some knowledge, some things that's going on in the world, and plus things that's happening in the travel space also. For you all just here for the first time, hey, Eric, what's up, man? What's happening? What's happening? If you're all here for the first time, guys, this channel, what I'm doing is I got a different vision for this channel. I talk about the geopolitics, things that's happening in the world, some very important news. And then on the other side, I tell you about what's going on in Colombia, what's going on in Brazil, what's going on in Thailand, what's going on in Costa Rica. So those are the main focus of this channel. So I know sometimes you look at my thumbnail and you see all these topics and everything, but like, wow, because I know on YouTube you usually have like a niche. You know what I'm saying? Either you're just talking about traveling, either you're talking about something else. You have a niche that they usually that you focus on, but it's just so much going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I just think everybody needs to know about what's happening. Yeah, my stocks is good. Yeah, my stocks is doing really good, Eric. Yeah, my gold stocks are doing very well. What I want to do is when I get more subscribers, when more people come on, I want to start doing talk about trading and about what is the best stock to buy and everything like that. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna start doing that, Marcus. I am. I'm gonna start doing it. Matter of fact, you know what? I promise you guys on my next live stream. I promise you on the next live stream. I promise I will talk about some of the stock things that you need to invest because I just got some really economic bad news for you. The unemployment situation is getting worse. It's getting much worse. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people are getting laid off. I mean, Google, Facebook, which is called Meta, Amazon, they have laid off over 100,000 people. Okay, and these people don't know what they're going to do. They don't know how they're going to pay their rent. They don't know how they're going to pay their car payment. And finding a job is very, very hard to do right now. I hope I help you make a general continuous income, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I got things going. Yeah. The stock market is doing well. I got some investments that I'm doing that I'm creating multiple streams of income. And I would encourage everyone here to start doing that because it's going to get to the point the unemployment situation is going to get much worse, especially with AI. AI is destroying jobs. People are coming out of college. Okay? You have all these graduates that's coming out of college, but they can't find a job. They can't find a job. And then if they do find a job, the job doesn't pay nothing. Very poor wages. So let me give you an example of what's going on. And these are just example what has happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the economic collapse. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the daily trial. That's going to be very interesting. And then we're going to go over to the travel space. I'm going to tell you the reason why, what caused the brawl in Parque Lleras with the passport bros. You're not going to believe what caused that brawl, why they got into a fight, and how it's having an effect on our reputation. So check this out.
Day on that shit was traumatic. So the day before, I'm having a very productive day. I'm meeting with my director. I'm showing him my big presentation for the next day. He says nothing. He's not giving any hint. There's been no hint of layoffs in the company. No one's been talking about it. Sure, as a broader industry, it had been talked about, but we had nothing in our team that had even said the word layoff. Okay, so in the day, I go to sleep and I wake up randomly at 5 a.m, jolting with anxiety. But that's kind of normal for me. So I check my phone and I'm seeing lots of text messages. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I go to log onto my work computer, locked out. The panic is setting in. I go to my personal email, nothing's there. I see online people said it went to their junk. I go to my junk, oh, I've been laid off. And then from there, it was just silence. A few hours later, I finally got a call from my director and he said he couldn't really tell me anything. He couldn't tell me who was laid off, anything. Hours and hours later, I finally hear from my boss and she was like, I was laid off. I don't even know who else was. It was a shit show and it was terrifying. I'm just a little traumatized, that's all I can really say.
After 5 years of working at Google, I was laid off on Friday. I was a software engineer on Google Docs. I worked on a lot of user-facing features, including bringing emoji reactions to Google Docs. I found out while I was on vacation with my family. I didn't know until around noon that day when I checked my personal email and saw that my manager had sent me a message on LinkedIn. And when I saw that it started with, I'm so sorry that this happened, I knew exactly what that meant. Nothing could have prepared me for how hard it was to have such a big and important chapter of my life come to an end that abruptly. That said, I've known for a while I didn't want to be a software engineer forever. I have so many other skills and passions that I really wanted to explore. In a way, I think that this is for the best for me. My real passion is health and wellness. In college, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, and I healed myself by changing my diet and my life.
Yes. Red Lobster came out of bankruptcy. And there's a brother that's the CEO that did it, a young brother. Yeah, he's really smart. He's a really smart dude. Yeah, he got Red Lobster out of bankruptcy.
Style. And I think that my mission in life is to help others do the same. So I'm still new here to TikTok, but I plan on sharing much more healing inspiration, healthy recipes, more about my healing journey so that I can help more people heal from their chronic illness. If that is something that resonates with you, then I would really appreciate your support, and feel free to give me a follow.
A lot of people don't know my full-time job has been at Google for the last 7 years, and I got laid off today. And I am still processing that information.
Layoffs.
And I don't know what to feel.
As a matter of fact, Microsoft just added another 9,000 people that just got laid off. Okay? So this is nothing that's been going on in them. This is what I'm showing you are events that's happening now in real time. These recordings that I'm giving you is nothing that I recorded like a year ago. This is happening right now. As a matter of fact, what's disappointing for the Trump administration is that the unemployment is starting to rise. But I think this is just the beginning.
Well, I know I'll be fine. I'll be fine. The severance was good, but I have been working on the same project for 7 years. And while I'm upset, I am looking forward to starting on something new. It was a bit abrupt. I didn't even get to say goodbye to my team. My accounts just all got logged.
And you know what was so sad about it? It's the way how they doing it. Most of the people that have gotten laid off didn't even know that they got laid off. They didn't even know that they got laid off. They go back and try to log into their computer, and they found out they locked out. And then suddenly they get an email saying that your service is no longer required.
Out. I got an email from HR about 2 hours later with my severance email, kind of asking around. It seems like maybe 20% of my team was let go. And
His team was let go.
I don't know. It's shocking. If anyone else from Google sees this, contact me. We have a Discord for all the former employees, and we're hoping to meet, chat, talk about the good times. But if you work for Google and you follow me, hit me up. My DMs, they allow people to now message me, so just send me a DM.
Today marks 1 year since I was officially laid off from Google. And here are 5 things I've accomplished with my brand since then. I'm Liz, the creator of POUP, a party game celebrating Black college students and grads. I was a DEI program manager.
For some of you just get in, what I'm going to do on the next live, we're going to start talking about the stock market, how to invest, and how to prepare for the economic collapse, okay? You need to start learning a new skill, you know what I'm saying? Start learning about AI. Hey, I'm telling you, AI is what's really destroying jobs, you know? And we're dealing with more inflation. TGI Friday got out of bankruptcy too. Okay, good, very good. That's some good news. Let me see. Hey, living on the crossroad and a trend. Yeah, we're living in transitional time because I'm gonna tell you something. There are a lot of content creators that travel. I'm not gonna mention their name, but they can't even travel anymore. Because guess what? They don't have the money to travel. This here for me has been the longest time that I've been away from Colombia. I usually go there between 1 to 2 times a year within the last few years. Okay? Willie Brown, thank you so much, man. Thank you, Willie Brown. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Hold on for a minute, guys. Let's give Willie Brown a round of applause. Willie Brown, you are the man. You are the man. You are the man. Hold on 1 second. Let me give him a round of applause. Let me pause this for a minute here. Let me give you this, Willie Brown. Thank you so much for that super chat, man. Thank you. Yeah, and then let's give a round of applause for Eric. Thank you very much, man, for your support. Man, this really makes me feel good, brother. This really makes me feel good. You are the man, for your support. And I thank you all for the super chats and everything. Thank you very much. Let's see. Knowing that the use of going down there is all that. Let me see. And that's the stance knowing to use to go down there all the time. Yeah, I know. Let's see. The life of America has messed up for the good brothers too. Yeah, they have. And which I give you this information about why did they have the brawl in Medellin. It's going to trip you out. We're going to finish up on the economic collapse, and then we're going to go down. We're going to talk about the Diddy situation.
Manager at Google, but I was impacted by the major layoffs that occurred in tech in 2023. Number one, I earned a $20,000 grant by Square as a part of their accelerator program for Black and Brown entrepreneurs. I told myself that when I got laid off, I would take time applying to both jobs and grants, and that grant came through shortly after being laid off. Number two, we have grown on TikTok to about 26,000 followers, and we've also grown on Instagram to about 6,000 followers. Thank you so much to those of you who have been following along this journey. Number three, we redesigned the current college edition of POEP card game to make it bigger and better. Went from 100 questions to 215 questions. We introduced 4 new categories: Black at a PWI, HBCU Pride, Greek Life, and Proud Black Grad. And we are super excited for the pre-orders that have come in so far. Stay tuned. We're expecting to ship those out in winter of 2024.
Yes, they are, James. Yeah,
and in addition to the new and improved college edition of POEP card game,
yes,
thanks
absolutely.
to your feedback, we will be introducing a Black in the Workplace edition of POEP card game. So we've been doing focus groups, we've been going through rounds of iterations with our designer, and I have a conversation scheduled with some other folks who are in the corporate TikTok influencer arena to get their feedback. So super excited to finalize that and hopefully introduce this to the world in summer or fall of 2024. Last but not least, we had our first successful homecoming tour. We then went to Howard University. We made the most importantly, thank you all for supporting POEP card game. As always,
Google layoff on Friday. I was working there for over 9 years.
So there are massive tech layoffs happening across the globe, and it is extremely important to contact an employment lawyer, especially as a pregnant employee, because you're likely entitled to much, much more. We also seek our legal fees directly from the employer, so contact us today.
I just got fired. I just got let go. I got furloughed, whatever you want to call it. I'm no longer in tech. I was working for a company in tech sales, being an account manager, but the company is going through a lot of financial problems and they can no longer afford me. The whole team got let go, so it's like really bad. They stopped matching stock prices. They stopped, 401k. So the red flag.
What's sad about it, they're not even letting the people know that they've been laid off. A lot of them do their job remotely. And what happens is they go into the computer. They go back into the computer and they realize that they've been logged off, that their account has been closed. That is really, really, really sad.
We're very much there. But honestly, I feel so good because I know I'm in control of my life. I don't have a scarcity mindset. I know there's endless amounts of financial opportunity in the world. Like, there's so many ways to make money. It's like, there's, I have no doubt in my mind that the universe will triple, all of my blessings, all of my incomes. And I really do believe that. And not just because I believe that and because
Eric,
it's my mindset, but because I'm prepared.
Eric, thank you very much for the super chat. Hold on, I gotta give another cheer. Thank you, Eric, for the super chat, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give him a round of applause, man. Hold on for a second, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, brother. Give Eric a round of applause. Thank you thank you very much, Eric, for the super chat. Man, I appreciate your support, man. This one, you know what, I'm telling you, this is what makes me come back on here. This is what makes me keep doing this, because I have people like you that really cares about this content. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much, Eric, for the super chat. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much.
To put in the work. I'm blessed to be an influencer and have brand deals, and now it's just like, it's all been ignited in me. Like, there's so many opportunities. Like, the world has changed so much since the internet, and we're all interconnected and we're all accessible, and we make these brands now. I mean, look at Abercrombie & Fitch. We are literally shaping the world. So even with me being fired, even with me, being furloughed, whatever, it's just gonna come back. And I know that, and I feel so good. So yeah, that's it. If you recently got let go, because I haven't seen on LinkedIn.
See, one thing I like about this young lady, she's still thinking positive. She's still thinking positive, not like it's the end of the world. So if you ever lose your job or anything like that, just pray, man. Just keep God first, brother. Because losing your job, it's really hard when you lose your job. It's really difficult when you lose your job. So just to cap on what we just talked about, economic collapse is happening, jobs are disappearing, unemployment is going up, and Trump did say this is supposed to be the golden years, but I haven't seen it yet. But I think we in for a very rough ride. Yeah, this is the beginning of the collapse in America. That's why I'm trying to get the heck out, man. If you got the money, you better get the heck out now. I'm telling you, because there's going to come a time that you're going to want to leave, but you're not going to be able to leave. That's why I believe it's coming. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that things are starting to go south. We had wars and rumors of wars. You know what I'm saying? The thing between Russia and Ukraine haven't gotten any better. And there's a ceasefire in the Middle East. There's no telling what that could, jump off. So I think we are in for some really crazy times. I think we're into some really crazy times. Okay, that's so much for the economic collapse. Okay, let's get into now what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a link in the comment section. So if anybody's out there that want to join in and give their opinion about the Diddy case, I'm going to put the link and let me know what you think, okay? So let me put the link inside the comment section. Just 1 second here. Okay, I got the live stream open right now. So if any of you have any comments about the Diddy situation, about the Diddy trial, but he was found not guilty for only, he was found not guilty for the 3 charges, but guilty of 2 charges. Hey, what's up, man? What's happening? Terrell, what's going on, brother? Welcome back, man. Good to have y'all, man. Good to have you back. What's happening, y'all? Yeah. Salute to you too, brother. Salute to you too. Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into, Diddy bail was denied. Yeah, Diddy bail was denied. Because, he still have sentencing to go. You know what I'm saying? He was found not guilty of the 5 charges, he was not guilty of 3, but guilty of 2. And we're going to talk about that, okay? And I got the link open. So if anybody want to jump on and give their opinion what they think about this case and everything, you're welcome to do it. Okay, check this out.
Engaged in prostitution. Combs found crossing on the wires right now. Sean Diddy Combs is found not guilty on the racketeering conspiracy charge in this federal case. The verdict on the 4 remaining counts are not read yet. Here's another alert. Combs found not guilty in the sex trafficking of his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Here's another one. Combs found, okay, so this is count 2 now. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs found not guilty of sex trafficking. And that applies to the girlfriend who went by the pseudonym as the name Jane. Mm-hmm. And CB, I'll bring you in. I want to read one more alert here because some of this seems to be a bit of a duplicate as it's coming in. Mm-hmm. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution with the former girlfriend who I just mentioned as Jane. So those are 5 quick alerts that just came up on the Reuters wire, and we're awaiting more from inside the courtroom as we speak. Does that line up, CB, with what you have down there at court?
Bill, so what I'm looking at, count 1 through 5, the only count that I see that Diddy has been found guilty of is count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution, as it pertains to Diddy's ex-girlfriend and accuser, Cassie Ventura. The other 4 counts I am seeing, excuse me, let me backpedal a little bit, you guys. This is all breaking in. We're dealing with rolling thunder out here. So I'm seeing Diddy has been found guilty on 2 counts. The transportation to engage in prostitution counts, count 3 and count 5, as they pertain to Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, and another former girlfriend who testified under the pseudonym Jane. What I am seeing right now are guilty verdicts on count 3 and count 5. And I can tell you that prosecutors, when they argued that Diddy transported these women in male escorts across state lines to engage in prostitution, they pulled up a slew of flight and bank records, going line by line, in some cases to jurors, pointing out hotel stays, lengths of hotel stays. They also called in law enforcement investigators as summary witnesses to explain these lengthy, extensive records that they had pulled in this case. I think it's very interesting that these are the charges that these are the only charges that jurors found Sean Diddy Combs guilty of: transportation to engage in prostitution. And also, to argue these charges, prosecutors called male escorts to the witness stand who testified about how Diddy paid them, in some cases, hundreds to thousands of dollars to have sex with Cassie and him. And at this point right now, we can see from this verdict sheet that Diddy has been found guilty on count 3 and count 5. He has been found not guilty on the most serious charge, racketeering racketeering conspiracy. He's been found not guilty on count 2 and count 4. Those are the sex trafficking counts. The only counts he has been found guilty of are the transportation to engage in prostitution. And I want to say that comes with a possible prison sentence of 10 years in prison. Of course, we're dealing with breaking news, so a lot of information is coming in, and we're working to learn more. But there is a crowd gathered here outside the courtroom. I'm not sure who is among this crowd, but Bill and Dana, I know you've been watching the trial closely, and you know there are a slew of Diddy supporters out here who have come every single day. It looks like what appears to be one of Diddy's supporters is out here in front of the courthouse explaining to cameras perhaps why he believes his someone he supports was vindicated of the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy. There are hundreds of cameras, and we're waiting to get some more color from inside the courtroom.
You got it.
But we know that jurors came back with this ultimatum today.
CB, I'll let you go for the moment so you can gather some more news down there. I just want to repeat the main headline, and that is this: Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. The racketeering is the most serious charge. That was count 1. That would have put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Not guilty on that charge. So to recap, of the 5 counts, 3 not guilty, Dana, and 2 guilty in Manhattan Federal Court, New York City.
Right. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interview.
Okay. You guys just heard that. You just heard that Diddy was charged for 3 out of the 5 charges. Tony, what is your opinion of FBA's movement to reparations? Yes, I think we do deserve reparations. Absolutely, James. I think we should deserve reparations. But do I believe that we will get reparations? No, I don't. They've been talking about this for years, about reparations, but they haven't gave it to us yet. But I do believe that we should have got reparations a long time ago. That's my opinion on that. Okay, now I'm going to tell you my opinion about this whole case. I usually don't talk about stuff like this on this channel, about entertainment or things or celebrities or anything like that, but this is such a big case. And I have been watching this case from the beginning when the trial actually started. So the 5 charges where he's been charged with is racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, prostitution, transportation for prostitution, sex trafficking again with Jane, and transportation for prostitution. Okay, and then they tried to get him on the RICO charges on the S trafficking. Okay. Now the problem I had with the case from the beginning, I'm gonna tell you this: I support women. I do not condone domestic violence on any level. I despise it. I despise men that put their hands on women or anything like that. I do not condone anything like that. Okay. But what I did was I looked at the legal part of the trial and the testimony from the witnesses and from what the prosecution has presented. You know what I'm saying? And then when they started talking about the RICO charges and stuff like that, I just did not see no connection to a RICO charge. Because when you're talking about racketeering, anything like that, you're talking about like an organization that makes money on ass trafficking women. Like you got one talking about, he provides the transportation. Then you got another person that they go out to recruit, certain people. And then you got another. It's like a criminal enterprise that's ran, that's done by, exploiting women, basically. So when I really listened to Cassie's testimony, it sounds to me I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds to me that she was complicit with a lot of the things that happened between them, with the freak-offs and everything like that, because from her testimony and from the information that I got is that when she was with the male escort, they said it wasn't no sign that she was being either coerced or being forced to participate on anything that was going on. And like I said, I support, people that's in a bad situation. I don't support domestic violence or anything like that. I think that's, it's horrible. Nobody should be subject under nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? When I saw the video of what he did at the hotel, immediately I said that he should be arrested for domestic violence. That's what he should have been arrested for. He should have went to jail for that. Okay? But just being involved into freak-offs and things like that, I mean, you having people come to your house, you know what I'm saying, to engage in adult entertainment, to me, that's not a crime. I mean, to me, as long as nobody's being forced, as long as nobody is being coerced, as long as nobody, if there's guards standing at the door, things like that, I mean, that's just my opinion about the whole thing. So I heard that he was denied bond today. He thought he maybe be going home, but I don't think he's going to be going home. So this is a very, very, sad situation, so that's basically my opinion about this whole situation. I know maybe women might be mad about my opinion about it, but I don't know. I didn't see any connection to racketeering or RICO charge or anything for what he was doing. I just didn't see the connection. I think that's why on those 3 counts they found him not guilty, Yep, so. Okay, so I don't know. It looks like to me that he might do some time, It looks like to me he might end up doing some time. Because those counts that he was found guilty of carries 10 years in prison. Okay? The sex trafficking of Jane, the transportation of Jane, all that charge alone, it's called the Mann Act. And that carries up to 10 years in prison. But I'm going to be honest with you. I hope he don't do no 10. I don't think he deserves no 10 years in prison. I don't think he deserves no 10 years in prison, man, for that. If he goes to jail for that, then a lot of us are in trouble. I'm telling you. Because, you know what I'm saying? How many middle of the night calls have you had of a female wanting to come over and chill with you in the middle of the night? You know what I'm saying? How many times that you have went to a party that turned into maybe a freak off or something like that, So, yeah, that's a sad situation. Very, very sad situation. That's my opinion, So, okay, I'm gonna jump into the situation that happened in Colombia with the Brawl. Okay, you guys remember this, right? I talked about this last week.
Police on. gin. Too much liquor. Too much liquor. Let that gin, man.
Guys, I'm going to tell you this. When you have a bunch of ninjas, big booty women, and liquor, it's going to always be a problem. It's always going to be a fight that's going to happen. It's going to always be a fight that's going to happen when you have those three elements together. There's going to be a fight. It happens every single time. Well, the locals in Colombia has been talking about this, you know, about how the passport bros, which I'm not saying it's everybody, but it has a very bad reputation now. And I don't know if you guys heard of a YouTuber called, he's called the Colombian guy. His name is Carlos. He's from Cartagena. And he gives you the insight, that, you know, about what the locals are talking about. So I want you to listen to what he said about the Brawl and what it, how it really affected our reputation. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Country. It don't make sense to me. But the worst thing, the worst and ugly thing is what they've been saying, you know, that they were getting for working girls. And, you know, me being a tour guy.
You hear what he said? They were fighting over working girls. That was that Brawl was all about. They were fighting over working girls. It's very shameful.
I see guys, you know, getting in trouble, you know, trying to fight between all the guys just because of working girls too. I remember when the Lydian, if you ever been to Cartagena, Colombia, if you ever been, you know, in the Lydian, you know what I'm talking about. There it used to be in the old one and in the new one too, a bunch of working girls. So I was there one night, you know, with some clients that I took them to the club. And next thing is a guy from America, you know, fighting, almost fighting with other guys because over a working girl that he used to taking care of. He used to send money to this woman all the time. And, you know, she was out in the street, you know, working and doing what they know, you know, the service, giving the service away. So, like I said, this is something that you can change, you know, on these women. And I wish, you know, a lot of brothers to stop, you know, getting this, you know, getting themselves together, getting this mindset, you know, putting this on their mind. As long as, you know, you've been taking care of these women, they don't belong to you. It's just your turn. And some of them, they be out. You know, they can have $20,000 in the bank. If they get reached out by some of the old clients or new clients or something, they might go out. They might go, they might don't, but majority of them, they will go out. So you
hear what you're saying? You hear what he's saying? He said that these girls, no matter what you do for them, they're going to go out. They're going to go out on you. They're going to go out on you. So you don't own none of those girls down there. They're going to do whatever they want to do. Okay? Hold on 1 second here. Okay.
This is, you know, sad to see people from the same country attacking other people. I think, you know, it should be like most like united or something so they can be strong. You know, you help me, I help you, you know, we support each other, you know, when we are traveling, you know, to Colombia, to anywhere. You know, that should be a nice movement, you know, to be, you know, hanging out, you know, nice environment to be around. But, you know, seeing people, like I say, from the same country attacking others just because some working girls, it don't make no sense. And it's not the first time that I see that I hear because, like I say, I'm not sure if these guys are pastor bros. I'm not sure if that was the reason what they were, you know, fighting about.
See, that's what he's saying. He said from the locals are watching us when we go down there. And the fight that happened down there. Let me see. The most so-called passport bros is S tourism. Yeah, they're not really looking for a submissive wife, only a few thoughts. Yep, I talked about that on my last. Yeah, we talked about this before.
I don't know, and honestly, you know, I don't care because they're grown men and they decide what to do with their life. I don't really care about that. But like I say, the ugly thing is the reputation that, you know, this community of pastor bros, they've been creating in Colombia. It's more easy to rescue the parts, the leftovers of the Titanic than pastor bros' reputation in Colombia. It's a wrap. It's done because what others had done in the country, you know, what they've been talking about. And I don't want to throw, you know, the dirty water always in the brother, but people from the same community, YouTubers that claim that they are with them, they the one who been trashing them out. Because at the end of the day, you know, they don't care about that. You know, and like I say, this reputation is a wrap. It would be hard, you know, if you claim, because a lot of brothers, you know, they stay dating Colombian girls and they don't know. Before the Colombian girls, majority of them who are, you know, around foreigners, in this case of an American nationality, they didn't know before about what Pastor Bros, you know, what Pastor Bro was about, what was.
Hold on, I think I got somebody here. Let's see, who's this? Q. Q, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, man. What's up with you, bro?
Oh, man. Well, some work, but on the media and everything else, lots of stuff is going on. Politically and everything else.
There's a lot of stuff going on, brother.
There's
a lot of stuff going on, man. My God. Oh my God.
I got on quickly, but then I had to go get something from the store, and that's why I got off. And now I'm back on again. I'm back home. So. Yeah.
So what do you think about? Okay, let's just jump back just a little bit about this Diddy trial, man. Oh man, it don't look good for Diddy, man.
Well, here's what I thought about the whole case. When it first started, I'm like, yeah, he's in trouble. And then I heard a couple of YouTubers say, yeah, it's not looking good. And some people had vitriol for him. And justifiably so, because of the tape with Cassie and the beating.
Right.
And you know, that didn't make me feel good about that at all. I'm like,
no, it didn't. That was really bad.
Yeah, that was very bad. But as that case was going on, I listened to, you know, another YouTuber. His name was Mr. Ray's. I'll just leave it at that. And he just showed in a very objective way. And that objective way was, you know, throughout the case, they really didn't show a whole bunch of. They did not prove their case on like any RICO charge. They tried to make it out like,
right.
Yeah, they tried to make it out like he was like this, you know, this pimp and this guy who's running an organization, and he really wasn't. He just posed that on his music videos. That's about it. And with the parties which they call the freak offs, it was probably like a Hollywood industry secret party where he had like those two girls he's in a relationship with, and just orgies and stuff. That's pretty much what it was that he proved. And the thing is, with all that stuff, all he proved in my mind was, he had drugs. He was a drug addict. He probably, he was guilty of domestic violence, and he probably paid prostitutes, and that all could have been done in a state sentence. I mean, I wouldn't have minded him going to jail for some time, but this all should have been state charges. Like, you have like, you know, California and LA County, Miami-Dade, maybe Fulton County if you had parties in Atlanta, and then you bring it up and combine it in New York and let Letitia James and William Bragg, the Manhattan DA, so they can redeem themselves, and they would have gotten a simple conviction.
Right.
But they try to get all the extra stuff. They tried to make it seem like he's this evil monster, and he wasn't R. Kelly, because they tried to say he had underage people.
They tried to do that.
He only had he had consenting adults, and you know he was not guilty of the lesser charges. I mean, of the big charges, but he gets guilty on the Mann Act. But here's what you're saying, which is a problem. That judge denied him bail, and that judge wants him to get sentenced. But here's the thing with that judge in the federal courts.
Okay.
If he doesn't take the plea, which what I've heard, and he's sentenced to some ridiculous sentence, he can appeal this. And plus, we don't know about Trump in this too. Let's just say Trump gets a good eye and really wants to bail him out. You know what this is? This is also political theater, because Trump unofficially pardoned Eric Adams.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he did. He unofficially pardoned him.
The mayor of New York. Right.
Yeah. And if you have a pattern, Eric Adams and P. Diddy were together. They were on they were shown with the key. And at the time, Eric Adams was the Democrat.
Right.
And P. Diddy was supporting the Democrats, and he had a key to the city at one point. Of course, Eric Adams, the mayor, he got caught up. His staff, his administration was, obviously resigned or was facing charges. Right. And somehow they wanted to maybe get to Diddy to then get to Eric Adams, from what I've heard. And also another thing with P. Diddy, he did, he was good with the higher ups in Hollywood until Diageo. He crossed them over.
Yeah.
And
Diageo,
and Diageo didn't like the fact that he made us think about him being released from Diageo's advertisement. So
right.
So I guess the higher ups decided, look, we got to make this a case and get a humiliation ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So what this did, it looked like it was going to work, except when they came up and overcharged him. That's when people started to show some sympathy towards him. And with the feelings of Cassie and everything else, I really didn't want him to be now a martyr for, passport bros or the manosphere movements, because he was never an average guy. He was a hierarchy exec.
Right.
He was immune to a lot of other things. But now he's getting overcharged because of freak-offs and how he didn't like Diageo releasing him. Now he's going to get overcharged and treated somewhat unfairly. And now you have people split on this. Some people absolutely hate him and can't see anything about the evidence that was presented in this botched case. But other people are like, yeah, he was. It's this. People are saying, if he's ever convicted of all charges, this is going to set a bad precedent, and it's going to say that now the government can go in our bedrooms. So, my overall thought is this. Yeah, I'm glad he got off on some of those charges, but I just wish if they wanted to charge him, they could have charged him and wanted to really get him. They should have made it a state case like Harvey Weinstein. So it's mixed. It's good, glad, because I don't see too much. I don't see a whole boatload of injustice so far yet. But the other side is, if you were the prosecutors, you overcharged, you should have done something else. And people would have been on the side of the industry. That's all I'm going to say about that.
But
I'm not a big fan of his, but I didn't want to see misjustice.
Me either. I'm the same way. But the thing is that what did he really do wrong? Because
he didn't do anything wrong.
He wrong because according to the witnesses, they cross-examined the witnesses on the stand. Even Cassie, she was complicit with everything.
Yes.
She was really the mastermind of the whole freak-off thing.
Yep.
She's the one that paid the male escorts, the money, and everything. So my thing, I felt that if Daddy went down, then she should have went down with them.
Yeah. On state charges.
Right, on
which
state
Letitia
charges.
James and Alan Bragg could have gotten them one, and that would have redeemed them, particularly after the 2024 presidential campaign, when they convicted Trump, but that sentence was suspended due to him campaigning.
Right,
and it put egg on the Democrats' face. I don't want to make it political, but this is political.
Do you think, no.
I'm not an expert, I'm just looking at the patterns and common sense here.
The judge denied his bond, right? So he made an appeal today to go. He wanted to go home today. and he thought that maybe he can go home on, on bail because he's still got to come back for the sentence hearing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think the judge is going to hit him with the maximum amount of taking, because let me show you here. Let me show you the cases when he was charged for. Okay. The racketeering of conspiracy, he was acquitted of that one.
Right.
Sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura was acquitted. This charge will carry a 15-year maximum sentence. Transportation of prostitution with Cassie Ventura. Let me ask you a question about that charge that he was convicted of. If Cassie was his girlfriend and you pay her way to come see you, how can that be prostitution?
Exactly. She paid. If you're saying she paid for the prostitutes, I thought he used his money to pay for the male prostitutes to have a cuckold session so he could watch the other dudes screw his girl like Adam 22. How is that? Because here's the thing. If that was like sex, if they called that sex trafficking, and he served 15 years, then again the president would have been the government's in your bedroom, and let's suppose your dude is a weird sicko, and in sex terms, and he wants to like see his wife get screwed by other dudes,
right?
And let's say the dude paid the other dude to do his wife, then they could technically call that prostitution and sex trafficking.
Absolutely.
And also, here's another thing that this society could have set a precedence for if he was convicted of sex trafficking and RICO. Let's suppose, these guys, they're desperate for women, and they meet online, and they want to fly a girl from like LA to meet him in Indianapolis, Indiana for what he thought he was going to get an easy lay. And these girls, they'll use him for a free ride just to meet some other dude or a relative or something and go on a shopping spree. So let's suppose he gets a clue and doesn't want to be used anymore by the girl, and he refuses to pay for her flight back home. Guess what that girl could do? She could say she was sex trafficked.
Yeah, she sure can.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't do sex trafficking, because that would have set a precedent that the government can get in our dating lives and favor women.
No, but he was convicted of sex trafficking. Transportation of prostitution. See,
the Mann Act. It was the Mann Act.
Guilty, yeah. He was guilty of that.
He was guilty of the Mann Act.
But the racketeering and the racketeering and the big charges. What's the name of that? Racketeering
and racketeering conspiracy, RICO.
Conspiracy. And what's the other one they had?
The other one was sex trafficking and RICO. He was
RICO. Right.
Yeah, RICO and sex trafficking. He was acquitted on. But transportation, the Mann Act, he was convicted on.
He was convicted of it's called the Mann Act, And you know what? I heard that was started by Jack Johnson. Yeah, because he was dating
white
black and dating white women.
Right. It was back in the 1920s, and they didn't want interracial dating.
They didn't like that. Yeah. No, they didn't like that. He was really taking a chance on his life too, Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Back in the 1920s. Woo,
yeah.
Woo, he really was taking a real big chance. They were crazy back then. Yeah. But like I said, I'm against domestic violence at any cost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like that, But I just don't see why they're making such a big deal out of this case, because those are like misdemeanor cases, really.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and exactly. It wasn't like he had Cassie and then he just told her, "Look, you leave me, I kill you." He never did that. He never did that. Or he never asked Cassie to bring in some runaway teens all over America from truck stops to join the freak-off parties. Because if he did that, that's an R. Kelly type of deal or Jeffrey Epstein deal. The big thing is this: they made it out like he was even associated with Jeffrey Epstein, which he wasn't.
No, he was not.
But here's the thing: there was another YouTuber that was just so vehemently against him. He's saying, this is going to be a concern for your daughters and everything else. He is a bad guy. Yeah, he is a bad guy. Don't get me wrong. But he's a bad guy in the industry, not to society.
Right. And like I said, I mean, it's not like, like he did anything malicious or he hurt anybody or unalived anybody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He's guilty of being a freak. That's what he's guilty of.
He's guilty of being a freak and maybe doing a couple of disgusting acts and beating a woman. That's it.
Right.
I mean, and I also think they were trying to also get some makeup charges, particularly on what happened to Biggie Smalls after he died, because they said they allegedly found Tupac's killer, and maybe they wanted him to confess to see if he knew anything about Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
That's possibility. They couldn't link him to that. They couldn't link him to anything else. So they just wanted to throw the RICO, make him learn his lesson, make him pay for crossing Diageo on the Hollywood executives. And that's why they put this garbage case up instead of charging him properly with those certain things they had in that case, which Letitia James and Alan Bragg could have gotten him on, and have him sit for maybe like 3 years.
Right.
And his rep would have been ruined.
Right.
But but now they made him a martyr.
And did you know before he got arrested, he did an interview saying they was going to come after him? Did you know that?
I didn't. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got it saved on my phone. I'm not going to play it on YouTube. I won't joke so much attention on myself, or anything like that. But I don't know. It sounded like he pissed somebody off way at the top, man.
Yep. That's what this is. Because there's no way you can come up with crazy charges in a crazy case like this, and then say he's like John Gotti.
Right.
Because had they tried this in the state, had they tried this in state court like they did Harvey Weinstein, they would have gotten him. Is my point. Because Weinstein was tried in state courts in California and in New York.
Okay.
He did have some minor appeal, but he's still serving time in L.A.
So let me ask you a question. So is Harvey Weinstein, is he out of jail now?
I don't think he's out of jail. I think he's still serving some time in L.A. But he did go to court to deal with in New York to deal with the appeal, from a little bit of a technicality. I got to look that up, but that's the thing.
Right. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's jump into the passport bro thing about what happened in Medellin. I want to play this Carlos thing. You know Carlos, don't you? He has a
Carlos, the passport guy, right?
Yeah, the passport guy
from Cartagena Boulevard, scary Colombia.
Yeah, he's a real cool. He's a Colombian guy. Actually, he does tours for tourists. He does tours in Cartagena. Wow. So I want you to listen to this, what he said. Now, I showed you the video about the fight. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that fight from couple previous videos, yes.
So listen to us respond what people are saying. Because he's Afro-Colombian. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, Carlos. One thing about Carlos, you know what he said? He said that,
in the new one too, a lot of burn.
He said that people still mistaking him as being one of us in Colombia.
Wow.
They think he's American. He said he had to convince us, he's like, no, I'm not American. I am Afro-Colombian. You know what I'm saying? And then when he started speaking Spanish, then, that's how, they recognize that he's one of them, but they actually think this guy is one of us. That's kind of crazy. Even though he was born and raised in Colombia. But listen to what he says about this fight.
So working worse. So I was there one night, with some clients that I took them to the club, and next thing is a guy from America, fighting, almost fighting with other guy because over a working girl that he used to taking care of. He used to send money to this woman all the time, and she was out in the street, working and doing what they know to what they the service, giving the service away. So like I said, this is something that you can change on these women. And I wish a lot of brothers to stop getting this getting themselves together, getting this mindset, putting this on their mind. As long as you've been taking care of these women, they don't belong to you. It's just your turn.
You hear what he said? They don't belong
Yep,
to you.
yep. I understood that when I went to Cartagena. When I went to Cartagena, I knew it from the jump. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I can hear you. I thought the sound went out, but no. Yeah, I knew that from the jump when I first went to Cartagena, my first time over there, and they went to like those clubs. And I just said, it's, once I saw what they were talking about, I'm like, I was like, yeah, it's my turn. I got it from the jump. So there was no confusion for me.
Right. Listen what else he says.
And some of them, they be out. They can have $20,000 in the bank. If they get reached out by some of the old clients or new clients or something, they might go out.
See what he said? So remember I did videos on this. I said no matter what you do for them, it's not going to change anything. You remember I talked about that?
Yeah.
They might go, they might don't, but majority of them, they will go out. So this is, sad to see people from the same country attacking other people. I think, it should be like much like united or something so they can be strong,
Yeah.
You help me, I help you, we support each other, when we are traveling, to Colombia or to anywhere. That should be a nice movement, to be, hanging out, nice environment to be around. But, seeing people, like I say, from the same country attacking others just cause some working worse. It don't make no sense. And it's not the first time that I see that I hear, because like I say, I'm not sure if these guys are Pastor Bros. I'm not sure if that was the reason what they were, fighting about. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care, because they're grown men and they decide what to do with their life. I don't really care about that. But like I say, the ugly thing is the reputation that, this community of Pastor Bros, they've been creating in Colombia. It's more easy to rescue the parts, the leftovers of the Titanic.
He's talking about the bad reputation that Pastor Bros is leaving in Colombia.
Yeah.
And it's negative. And you know what? Even the girls I talk to, my friends I talk to, they say the same thing. They say the same exact thing. What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to add a couple other items to this.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was looking at another YouTuber's channel, and he was mostly talking about Mexico and Tijuana. This might be another minor political situation, but like maybe a couple weeks ago in New York and LA, but particularly in LA, you had all those protests in downtown LA from ICE and stuff. And ICE has been like rounding up a lot of people.
Oh, ICE is bad, man.
Yeah. They're doing it too loud. That's the point, but that's another topic. But anyway, since they sent all the immigrants back to like Mexico or maybe to El Salvador, and you remember Trump had to have a skirmish with Gustavo, the president there in Colombia, about bringing back Colombians.
Right.
And he didn't want them brought back, but Trump pushed his hand to make them come back.
Right.
And didn't get tariffed to death by him. So what's happening is, what's partly happening, particularly on this YouTuber, I think it was like a 420 guy or something, and he's in Tijuana, Mexico, is that in Tijuana, the cops are like profiling Americans there around Hong Kong and all that stuff. And if the cops get you, now they increase the fees for like bribes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're saying that they're profiling them down there for the acts they're doing, but they're also doing it maybe because of backlash of bringing the immigrants of the illegals from the U.S. back to their home countries.
Right.
So it's another additional thing, and also they're tired of certain passport bros. Well, I also heard Pattaya, Thailand is kind of empty now, and part of the issue is Yeah, part of
Thailand
the
is empty.
yeah, part of the other issue is they're getting tired of Indians going over there, and they're causing ruckus. And there's another video of
Why is
that.
Indians is coming over in Thailand? What's going on with that deal? I heard about that too. I heard
Yeah,
there's
just to
thousands
put
of them.
Thai in the sex tour place. They're getting tired of them. There was a video. It broke down like these stupid, goofy stuff like what we're doing in Colombia. But I gotta look at that further. I forgot the guy's name, but I'd have to look that up. Can I email you on the Instagram?
Yeah. Email me.
Yeah, I'll
Instagram.
give you
I'd
a
like to
link
see
on
that.
Thailand. But it's really it's yeah, they're profiling us. But if we're in Thailand, if it's the East Indians, this is where they're gonna say if they're coming after them since they're melanated, they'll come after us eventually. So,
Wow.
so
So
so this is all mental stuff going on with this. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this is like it's really getting hot with this stuff.
it really is. Yeah. Do you think it's safe to leave the country right now with all that's going on with immigration and stuff now?
I don't know.
One of my girlfriends told me she was stopped at the border.
Yeah.
She went out of the country,
Mm-hmm.
and she was making the entry to come back into the country.
What country was she leaving from?
But actually, she went to the Middle East, actually.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. She went to the Middle East, and when she tried to come back, they kept asking her questions, and they took her phone, and they started looking through her telephone.
Jeez.
You know, asking her questions like, why did you go over there for? You know, this deportation thing is really getting scary, man.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, I do agree with the concept of deportations, but it's really getting messy with it now because he's done a whole bunch of stuff and he's pissing off a lot of people too. And another factor is this. There have been some YouTube videos. One has been about how Black Americans, FBA, are not liking the immigrants, and they've been very racist towards us. The Latinos, the Arabs, Black immigrants, all the other stuff towards us.
Yeah. They call. Matter of fact, you know what? When they had the riots in L.A., you remember?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Black police officer. He said that the people that was rioting, called him the N-word.
Yep.
Immigrants calling him the N-word.
Yes, exactly. It's like that when you have the gangs in LA and first they just targeted Black gangbangers, but after the 92 riots and I think 94 after O.J. Simpson, they have prisons where it's divided really by race in California.
Yeah.
And the Mexican mafia ordered a hit on all the Black neighborhoods in LA. Not just the gangs, but the Black people. So they drove some people out of there, and now the demographics have changed a bit, and they're now hostile Latin gang wankers. And don't get me wrong, I don't like the Black gang wankers either, but they decided to put it on citizens. That really PO'd me.
Well,
so
what
it
they
was
should
their
have done was
politics.
they should have united with the Black, they should have united with us, really.
Exactly.
Because now they're in trouble now. Trump is deporting all of them out of here.
Yeah. So don't think that there was one girl from, I think she was the daughter of Gustavo Petro or something, and she said she didn't like passport bros. Don't think that she didn't watch those videos.
Yeah, I told you that. Yeah.
Don't think that she doesn't watch videos of certain YouTubers showing their frustration on immigrants, particularly Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one guy, I don't want to mention names, it starts with I'll just say this. He's one of the conscious guys. And he was like, look, I work with Latinos. They try to undermine me and stuff. And then it is frustration. Don't think that Gustavo Petro's daughter don't listen to that.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you feel frustrated? You don't want to be stepped over and play your role? All right, I'm gonna do you in with the passport bros." That's what they're thinking.
Yeah. And you know what she said? And Gustavo Petro's daughter, she said that guys that come over here for that goes over there for tourism should be deported and never allowed to come back into the country.
Yeah,
that's what she said. She don't like shit. One of the main reasons why they tolerate us is for the tourism, for the money.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even allow us to come in that country anymore. Because you know what? The last time I was there, let me tell you this. When I first started going to Medellin, especially with Colombia, period. When I first started going there, they used to roll out the red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I used to come there. Oh, welcome to Colombia. Are you American? Give me a hug. Some of them do know how to speak a little English. And that's what happened in Barranquilla. And then, when I was going through migration, there was a girl that she was so sweet. She walked up to me and said, "Oh, welcome to my country. Welcome. Yeah, they say a lot of Colombians have been complaining about passport for a while now. Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. Jon Snow, what's up, man? What's up? Welcome to the channel, man. I like to give a shout out to all the new people that's here. I can truly say that the platform is growing. So I really appreciate you all for coming and checking me out. Thank you very much, Jon Snow. Yeah, you're right. They've been complaining. I talked about this years ago. That this was going to come back on us way before this happened, before the passport bro movement, because this was during the time of what's the guy that passed away? He used to talk about Brazil.
Charles Tyler.
Charles Tyler. Yeah, I come from that era, from that time. And then when he passed away, the black man's option, it changed. And then it morphed into something else differently.
Yes.
And then you had all these pookies start going down to Colombia.
Yep.
Start talking about this stuff on Facebook Live.
Yep.
Oh man.
And guess what? Guess who that pookie crowd was? It was it was the latest of the Miami Beach spring break of 2020 to 2022, where it was all ruckus and chaos, or Urban Week Miami Beach, or the end of Freaknik, and that skirmish at the Puerto Rican Day Parade in 2000. That's that crowd causing ruckus, act like they never see no ladies and want to just bum rush the place.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so I told them, they started putting bad content out there. Like there was one. It was this guy. He was at the hotel, and he taped himself with a working girl in the elevator. He was just putting his hand, just groping all over this girl. What the hell? And he was doing it live on Facebook Live. I say, you idiot.
You look like he probably was left over at Freaknik back in 1996, man. Jesus Christ, man.
I just sat there. I was like, no.
Come on, man.
He was putting his hand, just groping this girl, just like, I said, I don't believe this. And then I contacted some of these administrators for these Facebook groups. And one of them did call me. I said, man, you need to stop doing this, because the Colombians, they watch this stuff. They watch it. And then they begin to post things on Facebook talking about, oh man, I was down in San Benito, man. I met me a Venezuelan girl for $30. No, dog, $30 is too much money. You can buy it for $20. And they was putting this stuff on Facebook and YouTube. I was like, are you crazy?
And you know what can happen? You know what can happen with that when you post for $20 to $30? The thirsty trick and simp is gonna come down there, and he's gonna then say, well, I gotta secure her and take her from the $20, so maybe I'll spend $60 or $80, and then jack up the price.
It got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and then eventually this happened. Now let me tell you, from the time when I was there during the good days to the bad times. When I first went to Medellin for the first time, okay, let me tell you this. I be all at the hotel. I be all in the patio, right? Taking a selfie with a Colombian, with a girl, a Paisa girl, a beautiful chick that I met there or something. I will post it on Facebook, something respectable, just us having something to eat.
Yeah.
My phone will blow off the chain.
Jesus.
Oh, you in town now? Oh, can I come by and see you? Oh, wow. I mean, I would get calls because I got a lot of Facebook friends in Colombia and Medellin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my phone would just ring. It was so bad that I had to turn the ringer off, turn the phone off during the nighttime because they were called during the night.
Jesus.
But fast forward to now, to my last trip, nothing.
Damn.
Nothing.
Damn. That's wild. That's sad.
I pasted a picture of no. Matter of fact, you have to end up begging them to come see you now. You have to beg them.
Jesus.
Like, hey, I'm in town now. Hey, how you doing, Kathy? Hey, I'm in town now. Let's get together, get something to eat. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Damn.
And I'm just sitting there. I'm just scratching. I was like, what has happened? And then, not only that, it's just the welcome is not the same anymore.
Yeah.
The welcome is not that. Like, I go down there now. The last time I visit there, I say, how you doing, guys? They look and say, oh, it's you again.
Oh, man. That's wild.
Yeah. Because we have just basically ruined our reputation. We've ruined our reputation is gone. So listen more what Carlos has to say.
There's one more thing I want to point out.
Bro's reputation.
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
Yeah. What I was saying is all this stuff we were messing up our reputation. That place is still dangerous and they're still doing druggings and kidnappings and sabotaging now Uber and I don't know what to believe next with that. And the mayor won't do anything about that, but that mayor of Medellin, he's gonna front like he's doing something, and this is his perfect demographic to take it out on the tourists. Particularly after November 23rd of before Thanksgiving, when the Asian guy from Minneapolis, Minnesota got murdered.
Yeah. You talking about the Asian guy.
The thing is, he knew U.S. representatives and knew of U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. And what happened there was they probably put pressure on Colombia to so-called do something, and that's what the mayor did. Front like it's all the foreigners' fault. So there's problems on other ends too, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So are you saying that right now Colombia is becoming so dangerous that we might as well abandon even going back down there again? Do you believe that?
I mean, they showed some photos. It's still kind of tough, but man, I'm not saying don't go, but keep a very, very low profile. I would keep extremely low profile. I'm not gonna go to too many of those, places like that. I'll be in the corner, just talk a little bit, but I'll try and do differently, like try and network with if I see common people. But it's gonna be a hard find. But that's still there. I know one thing. If I go, I'm going with people that are mature and know how to handle themselves.
Yeah, themselves. Yeah.
I'm gonna go in depths of 3 that know how to handle themselves.
But you know what? One thing about me is that I always follow my same footprints every single time.
Right.
I go to the same place. I talk to the same people. You know what I'm saying? I'm around a good area. Now the area I go to, I know they say Poblado is an area where you can still, it's real touristy. and a lot of the robberies have happened in Poblado. But around that Santa Fe area where I used to be at, there's a lot of security out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they be walking around the mall. They be out there, just patrolling. And you see like hundreds of people with their phones and stuff. I wouldn't carry my phone, have my phone up, but I felt more safe there than I would feel just walking around in the neighborhood by myself.
Yeah, when I was in Colombia, I didn't have my phone out at all.
No,
I did not have my phone out at all, and I didn't get bothered with. Thank goodness.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's getting pretty shaky. But let me let you finish listening to Carlos. Some really important stuff
in Colombia. It's a wrap. It's done because what others had done in the country, what they've been talking about. And I don't want to throw, the dirty water always in the brother, but people from the same community, YouTubers that claim that they are within, they the one who been trashing them out. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, this reputation is a wrap. Mm-hmm. It would be hard, if you claim, because a lot of brothers, they stay dating Colombian girls and they don't know. Before the Colombian girls, majority of them who are, around foreigners, in this case of an American nationality, they didn't know before about what Pastor Bros, what Pastor Bro was about, what was the movement about. But now, majority of them, they do know what's that about. They do know who are brothers, who some of them, majority, because, we have to say the true majority, travel, to meet girls from other countries. Some of them then trying to marry, some of them don't. Some brothers, they travel for business. They've been opening business in Colombia, and I'm grateful with that. I always will be grateful with brothers who come with the idea to set up business in the country and to employ locals. I really appreciate that. For those who cares about women, I don't fucking care. I don't care about that. But, like I said, it's really bad because a lot of people, they don't realize that this is a country in development. And you will have a lot of tourists coming because now tourists like the second biggest economy in the country. So how can you prevent all the people to come here to visit Colombia? And, you will have always tourists with this kind of behavior. It doesn't mean that the country is down, for other people. I have met some people from America that they get mad when they see other Americans in town. But I was like, bro, I never say that because, I respect what people think. But you don't own.
So he said that the Colombians don't like when they see, it's getting to a point they don't want to see Americans in town now. You hear what he said?
Yeah.
The country. You don't own the country. These people can come. It's not like if you don't want them to come, just book all the hotels or the Airbnbs in the city so they can come here. The country's in development, and the people who work with tourism like me, we are grateful with the tourism who are coming because one way or other, they've been supporting me, they've been supporting my people, and that's enough. That's enough to keep the locals happy, some of the locals, But the current situation, with this video that I won't post because I don't want YouTube, to get to mark my video as offensive or something. It was really sad because they could really, hurt this guy really bad. And what you see is like working girls, in the middle that they trying to stop them from fighting.
So you got working girls that was trying to stop the fight.
Oh my God. They were trying to break up the man.
They had working girls actually trying to break up the fight.
Are
sad. You kidding me?
What's also sad is some of the women they complain about, they claim that they're following them there too. Like girls from America come there to follow us.
Right.
And oh man, it is. I try and do activities.
He got one more thing to say. Make sure everybody like and subscribe. Please, thank you. Help support the channel. I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna go back. He got some. I want you to listen to this really important thing he's getting ready to say. Let's see.
you know, like I say, that's sad, because if that's the case, you shouldn't be fighting. First of all, you shouldn't be fighting for a woman, but everybody thinks different. You shouldn't be fighting for a woman with all the due. You know, I mean, if it's a woman and some man, they respect her, yeah, you go ahead and do what you got to do as a man, you know. But if he is, you know, like a working girl, I mean, they don't belong to nobody. They women's. I know that, and I respect them, you know, because at the end of the day, you got to respect the women's no matter what. But a lot of these girls, you know, like, they don't belong to nobody.
They don't.
They don't belong. Like I was saying, so I had like a little issue with my life, but I wish a lot of brothers they would have had the opportunities to go to the hood and to see like how a lot of these girls, you know, like they receive thousands sometimes of, like I say, in this case, of American citizens, because I've been seeing, hearing from a lot of cases that these American brothers, they've been changing those girls' life, a lot of girls' life, which is ain't bad for me, because a lot of people, you know, they deserve, you know, great opportunities. Maybe they had do great things in the past, and, you know, that's something that they've been deserving for a while. But I wish a lot of brothers who had the opportunities to go to the hood and see how, you know, a lot of girls that they've been receiving thousands, like they be just hanging out with the dudes, local dudes in the hood, you know, and they just acting like, you know, it's regular. It's just part of the game, you know. You just go with the flow, you know, and like I say, you barely will see like locals, you know, go fight, you know, with a foreigner just because of girl. Now it's your turn, and then next week will be the guy's turn. That's it, you know. Like, you don't have to cross the border that these brothers on the video already crossed. So I know about a case about a girl in my hood that she used to be in a relationship with an American brother, and this guy changed basically her life, man. She was like nobody, but now she became nobody again. So this guy was sending her every month, like taking care of her, you know. She had her on an apartment or something. But the thing is, like, it's like a lot of brothers, they want to move to Colombia now, but they know it ain't that easy because they are not ready yet. You know, the heart is selling, then just go ahead, but the pocket is selling, then you ain't ready for this. So that's the truth. That's a reality. So that's the reason, you know, why the brother was just sending her, hey, you know, here, you know, it's this, so you can have a nice apartment. You know, he got her a motorcycle or something, and everything was good. You know, coming to find out, this girl was bringing up, you know, dues to the place that was paying the guy, and how this situation, and the worst thing is, like, the girls ending getting pregnant from all the due, and was trying to put, you know, like, it's not like I'm being nosy. I'm just trying to put you guys in the game, like these women, they don't belong to you, you know, like, just your turn. And you gotta enjoy as much as you can. So the girl ended getting pregnant from another dude, but she was trying to like put that on. She was trying to like her with this guy.
He said the girl that he was supporting, he put her into an apartment, sent her all this money, and she got pregnant by somebody else.
Yep.
That's what I've been telling y'all.
And maybe she would try and do paternity fraud and pin the kid on him or something.
Yeah, she tried to
because
pin the kid on him,
there's some of those guys in those groups that want to say no condom gang and shit. No condom gang and stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah. And that's not good either.
Yeah, but listen what he says. What happened? He's giving and
he's funding the broke boyfriend too.
Yeah. She's messing around with the boyfriend. Yeah, she's messing around with the boyfriend, but the guy is still sending money to keep her in an apartment. Yeah. He's Afro-Colombian, Arizona. He's not American. He is a Afro-Colombian. His name is call him the Colombian guy. His name is Carlos, and he does tours in Cartagena and Medellin. He has his own touring service, you know. So listen to what he says.
That's what's been told to me. She was trying to get this guy to come down to Cartagena because she knew she was pregnant. So, you know, to get him, you know, to, you know, like, kind of like do what she got to do with her, and then telling her, oh, you know, we expecting a baby. But the guy, you know, she didn't know, like, the guy didn't come, and coming to find out the guy couldn't have babies. So
ain't that something? You see that?
Yeah.
Still,
Mm.
he had the clip.
Yeah.
He was clipped.
Ooh. Mm. Yeah,
They
to try
don't
to
care.
pin it on
They
him.
don't care nothing about you, man. They
No.
don't.
And it's and really here's
They
the thing.
don't.
Here's the thing with some of those working girls. I saw in another video that those working girls are mostly like what they call strata 1 and strata 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of the low class, pretty girls, but low class. And it's on and some of these dudes who are mad about American women and particularly the sisters.
Right.
And there's a lot of videos on that. Well, guess what? They're going down there and doing almost a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where the girl's gonna pin the child on him and it's not his. I was listening to another video earlier today about that, and it's universal, and you gotta watch your back. And Colombian, you're dealing with level 1 and 2 ladies, and you're not taking the time to meet the people, and that's not good, man. And in that country, Colombia, you're not gonna get wham bam thank you man real quick in a one and done series like the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Yeah. But you know what's so sad is that I did multiple videos on this. I said, sending those girls money is not going to keep, because I was with the girl in Colombia, in Medellin, right?
Mm-hmm.
She came by the hotel, and me and her, like, we was chilling, for, got some lunch and stuff like that. And then I told her, did she have a boyfriend? And guess what she told me? She said, yes, I do have a boyfriend, and he's American. And he said he sends money to her every month. He goes down there for about 4 or 5 months, and then he has to go back, to America for a few months. And he comes back and forth. But she was messing around with me.
Yep.
I asked her, I said, well, if you have a boyfriend, why are you doing here with me? Well, he's not here right now.
Yep. How they emotionally place things.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sending money to them is not going to change not one thing. It's not going to change nothing.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I'm stingy with the funds, and I'm just glad that when I went and when I came back home and kind of contacted them a little bit. I mean, I knew what it was. I knew we weren't gonna meet like that, but I was hoping they wouldn't ask me for hey, could you help me out with this stove or Pampers for my daughter? I was glad they didn't do that. Yes.
Yeah. Let me tell you how important it is. I used to tell you guys, make sure you get their social media page. Make sure you get their social media page. Okay, let me tell you what happened last week, actually. One of my girls from Bejo, y'all seen her before. I'm not gonna mention her name, but I got videos of her, in my archive. If y'all watch my old videos in Colombia. So she contacted me the other day. Well, I contacted her. Said, hey, how you doing? I haven't heard from you. Well, are you okay? And then she started telling me, oh, I had an accident. I was in the hospital for 5 or 6 days, right? I said, wow, you was in the hospital for 6 days? She said, yeah. She said, I just got discharged. Okay. So she's at home, all in pain, and she shows her eyes swollen because she did have her eyes were swollen and everything. And I said, what happened to you? She says, oh, you know what? I accidentally fell down the stairs. I said, oh, really? Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. She said, I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. I need some money to go buy me some medicine. I said, oh, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? She said, she said, I spent all my money on the doctor's appointment and stuff like that. She wasn't directly at first asking for money, you know what I'm saying? But then she curved it she needed some eye drops or something like that, because her eyes are swollen and things like that. Let me tell you this. 2 days later, I go back on her account, her social media account. Guess what she was doing?
She was partying all the time.
She was partying
all the time.
Her
Sorry.
and her girlfriends were partying. So I'm sitting there, I was like, wow, for somebody that just came out of the hospital, somebody said they're in excruciating pain, and you at a club and got drinks on the table? Wow. And that's how manipulating they are. Yes, they can happen. Yep. But they will manipulate you. They will manipulate you. You cannot control these women. You just can't. So I'm telling you guys, keep your, if you don't live there, forget it. Just forget it.
Yep.
If you and that just don't go for Colombia, but it goes for any country.
Yep.
You can meet a Brazilian girl. You can meet a girl in the Philippines or
Kenya.
Kenya. If you don't live there, she's not going to be faithful to you.
Nope.
And you can't blame her, really. Life goes on. The drinks are to numb he said the drinks are to numb the pain. Well, I don't care her drinking, but just don't take the money out of my pocket. Just don't take the money out of my pocket. But yeah, they are very manipulative. Extremely. Not all of them, but some are. And this is what that's what Carlos is trying to say, that these guys actually almost went to, I don't know if any of these guys went to jail or anything, but they were arrested for all this over working girls. The girls that don't even love them.
Oh boy. They were just worried about getting their dollars.
Huh?
Some of the girls that were trying to break it up, they were trying to look to see if they can get their dollars.
Yeah, they're trying to get their money. Yeah, it's all about money down there.
Yeah. Particularly,
So
I think Medellin and certain elements of Cartagena. The money.
Yeah, it's all about the money. So, well, I appreciate you guys for coming on. This has been a really good live, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you for coming on, giving you your opinion about the Diddy trial and everything.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, man, I want everybody on here, man, to prepare for the economic collapse, because it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. The job numbers, I heard, is very low, man.
Jesus.
Guess what the job numbers was? I heard it's like 95,000.
Jesus. Oh man.
I see a depression coming, man. I see something coming.
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, thank you, Eric. Thank you, man. And thank you for the Cash App too, Eric. Thank you for your support, man. I appreciate your support. And Willie Brown, thank you for yours too, man.
Yeah, Trump. I mean, Biden was bad, and Trump is now making it worse, and that's a long story. Particularly,
it's going to get bad. It's going to get real bad.
Trump Part 2. Jeez.
Because people, they can't pay their rent. Those people. I mean, okay, all those thousands of people that got laid off on Silicon Valley, right? Mm-hmm. Where they gonna go?
And that place ain't cheap.
You're not needed anymore.
AI
has taken their jobs. And I heard in California they got self-driving cars now.
Yeah.
They will come, pick you up, take you to work, drop you off, and take off.
Jeez.
So you're not even gonna be getting a job. Oh, one more thing I'm gonna tell you before we go. You're not gonna believe this, what they got now. And I'm gonna talk about this more on the next live. They got AI pornography now.
Jeez.
The women are AI.
Wow.
So and matter of fact, that was a video I want to show you guys. I'm probably gonna do it on the next live. I don't know if YouTube will allow me to do it, but matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to send it to you on Instagram, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna share it with you on Instagram.
All
but you had these beautiful women that's like half dressed and everything, and they standing there. It's like two of them. They're standing there and they're like moving their hips and stuff like that. But then when I looked at the picture, I said, you know what? These are not real women. This is AI. So now you have AI that's going to take away from OnlyFans.
Wow, that's kind of karma to them.
And you and with the app, you can make the woman what you want her. You want it to be tall, you want it to be short, large or small. I mean, you control how you want the woman to look like and what you want her to do.
And certain skin tones too.
Certain skin tones, yeah, everything. I was like, wow.
And feet pics.
Huh?
And feet pics too.
Yep. And they look real. They look real.
Wow.
Because I had to look at it real hard and say, yep, these images are AI. I was like, wow. But I'm gonna share it with you on Instagram. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah. But okay, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I thank you for everybody for coming on the show tonight, man. This has been a really good live. Marcus, good to see you. Chris and everybody. It's good to see everybody, man. I really appreciate it. The channel is growing. I'm at 2,000 subscribers now, and I noticed that more people are coming on the live streams now too. So, you know, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna always remember every last one of you, no matter how big this channel gets.
Right.
Tony on the romance tour, you said the guy that ran it, but did you see the IDs? I don't understand what you're talking. What IDs? But you say you see the IDs. You talking about the girls' IDs? I saw those IDs also go way back to 2014. Oh, yeah. So, the guy that owns the site, sometimes he don't take them down. But like I said, I haven't done it in a while, Marcus, so I haven't been back on there. So, yeah, the guy that the agency I went through, he was he did what he's supposed to do, but he was an idiot. So, you know, he wasn't that good of a hostess, you know. Okay, yeah. So okay, guys. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
on the
thank
line.
you.
Yeah,
you have a happy 4th.
I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody have a happy 4th too, man.
Yeah.
And do a favor for everybody. Like, and subscribe.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, okay? God bless. And I'll see you on the next live. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.